Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Fasa Syabila Gunawan from GBI1. Today I will present a journal article titled The Impact of English Songs to Improve on English Listening Skills, written by Anissa Melawati and Anita. The study explores how songs, specifically English songs, can help learners improve their listening comprehension. This topic is very relevant because many students, including myself, often struggle with understanding spoken English. Unlike reading or writing, listening requires us to understand the language in real time. And when the accent, speed, or vocabulary is unfamiliar, it becomes a real challenge. The author suggests that music, which is widely loved and easily accessible, can be used as a tool for language learning, especially for listening skills. The study's findings confirm that English songs can positively affect listening comprehension, vocabulary, acquisition, and even pronunciation. So, what can we learn from this article? First, that language learning doesn't always have to be rigid or stressful. The second is, it shows that by integrating fun and engaging materials like songs, learners may be more motivated and find the learning process more enjoyable. The impact of English songs to improve on English listening skills. It tells us exactly what the paper is about. However, the praise to improve on might sound slightly awkward in academic English. A better title could be The Impact of English Songs on Improving Listening Skills. Still, it successfully grabs the attention of readers who are interested in language learning and teaching. And the abstract introduced the main goal, to determine whether English songs have an impact on improving listening skills. The researchers used questionnaires and initially claimed a quantitative approach, though later in the paper they describe it as qualitative. Key points from the abstract include songs can have both positive and negative impacts, but the study focuses on the positive. Students show improvement in listening comprehension after engaging with English songs. The study recommends songs as useful tools in language education. The short summary prepares the reader for what to expect and presents the outcome clearly. Songs are beneficial. The introduction emphasizes how essential listening is in language learning. The authors begin by stating that language is a vital part of life and communication, especially in our globalized world where English is often the medium. They outline the four language skills: listening, reading, speaking, and writing, and mention that listening is usually the most challenging. Unlike reading, where we can go back and reread, listening gives us only one chance to understand. This section also introduces the problem. Many students struggle with listening because the learning methods in schools are still rigid, relying too much on exercises like TOEFL conversations. As a solution, they suggest using songs because songs are familiar, emotionally engaging, and culturally rich. They quote several scholars like Morphy, who highlights that songs embed language in long-term memory, and Chen, who says songs have the therapeutic and expressive value. This builds a strong foundation for why the study matters and what gap it aims to fill. The authors draw on past studies to support their argument. For example, Suwartono explained that song encourage repeated listening and pronunciation practice. Murphy states that lyrics stick in long-term memory, helping learners recall words and phrases. And Shen points out that songs are rich in cultural meaning, and using them can increase motivation and engagement. They also mention that listening to songs improves vocabulary and helps learners become familiar with native pronunciation and expression. Interestingly, they highlight how emotional responses to music, like feeling happy or relaxed, can enhance language acquisition. The authors agree with previous researchers that music and language are connected, and they built on this idea by applying it to young English learners in Indonesia. This is where things get a little confusing. In the abstract, the authors say they used a quantitative method, but in the methodology section, they describe a qualitative approach. They conducted interviews using a questionnaire with 5 questions and only 2 participants aged 18 until 22. These participants were selected based on their love for listening to English songs. They were asked about their favorite genre, whether they thought English songs improved their skills, and how songs affected their learning experience. Although the sample size is small and limits the generalizability, the method still provides meaningful insight into individual learner experiences. The findings are consistent across both participants. They both enjoy English songs and believe songs help improve their listening comprehension. They report learning new vocabulary and pronunciation from songs. And listening to songs makes learning English more fun and less stressful. One of the participants shared that they had been listening to English songs since junior high school and noticed steady improvement in listening. Another described how reading lyrics while listening helped them memorize vocabulary and eventually understand songs without needing subtitles. The conclusion is clear: English songs can positively influence listening skills. They offer repeated exposure, emotional connection, and a more relaxed environment for learning. This aligns well with the idea that language learning should be meaningful, enjoyable, and contextual. And personally, I found this article very relatable. I also enjoy listening to English songs, and I've realized that over time I've started to understand more lyrics and pronounce words better. This makes me agree with the authors that songs are not only entertaining but also educational. If I were to teach English in the future, I think I would definitely incorporate songs into my lesson, especially for listening. It's a great way to make students feel comfortable and motivated. That concludes my presentation on the article The Impact of English Songs to Improve Our English Listening Skills. I hope it gives you insight into how fun tools like music can make a big difference in language learning. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.